this trio you had with your brother on drums and Ernest on keys was
Ernest on bass,
sorry.
and me on guitar.
Was this the trio that played when you played in the Annie Ross?
No,
Jazz clubs?
that was the Three Musketeers. That was Bob Stuckey on. We all met in Hamilton King's Blues Messengers.
Right.
And then we played in another band, and then we all got day jobs, and I got a call from Woody who said Bob's got a gig for us. That was the club, Andy's Room, and we were there as the second house band, and we were there for 9 months. It was really a lesson. We met several of our heroes. Betty Carter was there. A jazz singer who goes where others fear to tread. I sometimes think she puts herself in impossible situations when she's singing, and then gets out of it. Betty Carter and Big Joe Williams, bassist singer, who famously one night after the club was closed, I remember the three of us standing in the semicircle and Big Joe Williams towering over us, and I remember one of the things he said was, dignity, always keep your dignity. And now I think to myself, although this didn't happen, and I always think the story should go, and then he drove off in his pink Cadillac, but he didn't. I mean, I'd started writing. I wrote my first song when I was 18, in my bedroom. Nobody Loves Me, the kind of songs that you write at that age. Fortunately, I don't have any of them left. But it was at Annie's Room that I decided that I was going to take jazz singing seriously. There was a studio in Denmark Street. We went in there, and we with Woody on drums and Bob on his B3, I sang For All We Know and Yesterdays. I don't know whether you've ever heard Billie Holiday's amongst my singers. You know, Billie Holiday was probably the most influential. There's a recording of her, and it was not long after she died, and the heroin had really destroyed her voice. And she sings For All We Know. And it's just one of the best recordings of any vocal. It's interesting because reviewers often didn't have the balls to call her a singer. They called her a vocal stylist. That's reviewers for you. So that was one of the tracks that we did, and we did Yesterdays, up-tempo. We did that very up-tempo. So that was the first time I heard my voice, because I wanted to find out whether I could sing. Because I sang once in the club, and a jazz singer, well, I wouldn't call her a jazz singer, I'd call her a cocktail lounge singer, was in the audience. It might have been that somebody told her a good joke, but she laughed. Right. And I assumed she was laughing at me. So I decided I want to find out if I could sing or not. And as it turned out, it seemed that I could. So that, that's just something else. Yeah. The band I had called Safari, so the story goes, Chris, the bass player, his girlfriend worked in the office of a publisher's, Groovy Music? And there was a cassette. We'd made a cassette of... The only thing I can think of is that they made a cassette of Safari with some of my songs. And I got a call saying, they've been looking for you. You've got to come back because somebody wants to offer you a deal. So I came back to the UK, and that was when I got my publishing contract and recording contract all in the space of a short while. And that was how it started. That was how that part of my life started.
So it all sort of happened after that long, you
9 years. It was 9 years.
And then suddenly you were an overnight sensation.
But that's how it happens.
Of course.
You know, I mean, that's how it happens.
Of course.
You
Of
know.
course.